Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're now back with the live stream debate I was covering earlier. Okay, here we go. Still in
In
progress.
that picture.
Whereas horizontal, well, they're obviously taken from an airplane that's on an incline.
Okay, so where's horizontal in that picture?
Well, probably right there across that
Probably
line. It's
somewhere,
taken at an angle, but
somewhere, probably, maybe. Okay, and
no,
so
about I
so
would
if
say, can you see my arrow? Oh, okay, there it is.
yeah,
Okay, I was on the wrong thing. That would be, but it's taken at an angle, obviously.
okay, so the
Being
horizon
drawn by
really
the
is
moon,
higher
probably
than that
because
level.
it's going by the wind, some kind of shit like that.
Okay,
But still, you see a
so
flat horizon. You don't see any curvature there. Look how straight that sun is. Look at that sun ray right there. Look how straight that is. You can't get that kind of reflection on a fucking ball.
how far?
And another thing too, look at the guy just says, "Oh, how far is that? How far is that?" He does not even accepting reality. But one thing to notice is look at that light on the water going towards the observer. Like, do you see how it's as if the light is going directly to the observer? And in this, it's like the light walking on the water. It's it's trippy. It's like an observation I'd like to do with many people along the coast, and have a bunch of people along the coast at the same time on a Zoom call, or whatever, StreamYard, with like whatever it is. You'll have like 100 people if it's possible, and then have it all on, as many as they could on the screen as they can, and have everybody point their camera towards the water when the sun's, say, in that spot. And then it'll, all the people and all the different windows, it'll all have the sunlight going to that person. And if the people, they're spread out by miles, it's even more effective. It's an experiment I want to do with a bunch of people along the coast. Okay, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Like a bunch of people along the coast at the same time.
Wild to watch, man. But I mean,
So
I've seen, here's the thing, is that I've not seen anything credible to make me believe that I'm on a ball that's spinning.
what's the definition of credible?
Something that's beyond a reasonable doubt.
Do you have something to add to that, Mike?
I think I have something. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Because this is the whole thing. I observe nothing to indicate convexity. I see a total Luciferian inversion of what it really is and what it appears to be. And what it has happened is just like when we started this, it comes right down to, they tell you this shit and then give you these nonsense things to, I don't know, reinforce it, when there's nothing visible to actually or experience that would even indicate to me ever that we were on a globe. I mean, that's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. We have seismographs, right? Those things are like measuring earthquakes. Those measure the earth moving. Nobody ever feels the earth fucking moving. Nobody, and we're supposedly going at all these speeds, breakneck speeds that are incomprehensible.
Okay, let me share my.
And constantly slowing down and speeding back up again. And nobody feels any deceleration, acceleration, and they should. Especially
What's the predictive change in velocity for that?
Well, what's the 66?
Okay, perfect example. Sav just described that there is no motion. We're not feeling any motion. And then this guy, what's your predictive model for this? What's the rate of this? See how desperate this guy is?
Well, it doesn't matter. Any kind of deceleration. No, listen. Any acceleration or deceleration would be felt.
Any?
Yes, especially at those speeds.
Okay, so at the fastest.
I mean, I want you to, I even think you're going, have you ever been in a car going really, really fucking fast and then somebody starts to slow down just a touch? just a touch. You feel it. You come forward, man. You feel that change, even though it's not much.
Okay, so let's equate that to the orbit of the
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah.
You're going 67 miles.
How many times?
Okay, let me talk.
Sound?
You're going 67,000 or 67 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 6 months later, you're going 69 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the force that creates in those in the trans?
If even that minor change occurred in speed, it could be recorded. It would be documented. And it's possible someone attuned enough with going fast speeds might be able to tell the difference between 67 and 69. I'm not sure. I'm not that well driven, I guess. But those speeds could be measured and calculated, right? If a car did go 67 miles an hour and then 6 months later it went 69 miles an hour, yeah, this guy just made a very bad example, right? Because speed could be measured.
Once at any time.
No.
At any time. Listen, just the slightest move. Just the slightest wrong move of some of these jets that go at these hypersonic speeds,
yeah.
Just the slightest wrong move with those things will rip them apart. Not much,
6 months.
not much. And listen, they feel that. I mean, and even when they go at a slower, even just a half a G less, they feel the relief of that. I mean,
okay. We're talking in seconds on a jet versus 6 months. You don't see the correlation between those two.
It doesn't matter. You're going to.
Both don't serve him. That's why he's laughing. If one did and one didn't, he could identify the error. Unfortunately, both don't serve him.
Is what actual proof do we have of the Earth being, what is it, 93 million miles away from this? And the sun, what do you guys claim it to be? I mean, I don't know what the
big giant fusion reactor, nuclear fusion reactor.
And how did that come about?
Spectroscopy.
No. See,
oh man, that could be clipped. That's going to be on that guy's blooper reel segment after the debate.
I didn't even ask about. Okay.
You said, how do we know?
No. You didn't listen to what I said. Okay.
All right.
I says, how did this thing come about?
Mass.
Yeah, but I mean, mass of what?
The mass of the helium and the hydrogen.
Hold on a second. Wait a second. You're trying to tell me that gases. Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
Hang on a second. Let's stop explain real quick, and then we'll go to you, Mike.
You're caught up in a.
I want to hear this explanation.
Wait
All right, we'll give him the floor.
Why would gas molecules for what reason would cause them to, for some reason, come together against their nature to move apart from one another in order to form a contiguous mass in the first place?
Gravity.
Wait.
Why would gas want to move away from each other?
How could gas have gravity when it's not its own contiguous? It can only have a mass in a contained volume. There's only way to have a mass of gas is to have a contained volume of it.
Yeah, by force.
Well, gravity. What forced it together? It can't be the source of itself.
Okay. Look at this guy's face on the bottom, Mike Vargas. Look at his face as they're discussing this topic. Notice his immediate answers, which could be called knee-jerk reactions or responses.
Right. No. How did it get in a mass?
All right, Mike.
Mass, it's already mass.
How did it get into a mass? The nature. Hold on. What is the nature of gas in a vacuum?
There is no nature of gas in a vacuum. It just floats until it finds.
No, it doesn't just float. It expands to fill the empty space.
Oh man, Sav! Shout out Sav! Just dunked on this guy.
Wait, no.
Yes.
You're confusing gas pressure in a small scale.
No,
versus-
on any scale, you can't have any volume of gas. No specific volume of gas can exist without physical containment.
All right,
So
Mike,
you
now
claim.
finish real quick.
Okay, that's your mantra.
Well,
I get it.
true,
You're
man.
Hang on,
You're
let Mike
told
finish
to
real
use
quick.
your religious mantra. I get it.
It's not a religious mantra. It's a fact of nature. Until you can demonstrate otherwise, is there any kind of experimental, like, is there an experiment or something that we could be cited to that shows that you can have gas pressure of any kind or a gas pressure system without containment?
Of any,
There isn't any. There
of
isn't any.
anything? Can I have low pressure right next to high pressure?
Well, it'll result in equalization.
Will it?
It'll be.
Can I have low pressure sit right next to high pressure
Not
and
next
last
to
for a
it.
week?
Not next to it. No,
and
not
last
next
for a
to it.
week.
Not next to it. I mean, it's equal. It's going through a
If there was
process.
a force,
Hold on, wait a second. Is it still there? Is it static? Is it like that still?
is there a force
What happened to it?
that can create high pressure right next to low pressure, and that
Yes.
force lasts for a week?
Yes.
Okay, so force is not a container.
Wait, no.
Gravity is a force.
Temperature. Hold on. This in a dynamic system, we have parts of the air that are being warmed and wind currents that are moving them around. They're reacting with cold fronts, which are of a lower pressure system. These result in express themselves in what we call weather. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Now, a hurricane.
That's now wait a
doesn't have
second. Do you
physical
know why
containment.
that is because what is happening there? What is actually happening? Those two different pressure systems, what are they doing? They're
They're
trying to do what? They're trying to equalize, right?
Why don't they?
Well, they are. That's why there's
I
weather.
just want to take a moment here and give just a big congratulations to Sav for winning this debate. He's just outclassing this guy in many ways, and as we just noticed and witnessed, he's teaching this guy many different types of sciences in this debate. Sav has got a lot of ground covered in his understanding, and I just want to say I'm impressed with it. And I'm impressed with Chicago Cubby Bear doing a great job moderating. He's been fair to both people. So, big shout out to him. But Mike Vargas, I think he's got to go back to the drawing board and come up with a better strategy, a better attitude. And I mean, it's just the globe is not winning debates, okay? The globe is not winning debates. This debate, any of them.
Going on. No. There's always
You're
things going on.
answering everything but the hurricane.
Hang on real quick.
Well, I mean, what about the hurricane? It's a reaction.
Okay, let me put this on mute. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got the one, the only, Mike 1986 dude.
What's up, Matt?
How are you doing, Mike?
Good, big dog. I was just watching your show.
Nice. What do you think so far?
It's cool. I like that guy from Duck Dynasty, Sav.
Yeah, he's cool. He's really smart.
Yeah, he was spitting the facts. He was dropping a few F-bombs here and there, though. Look
Yeah,
at you.
but he's doing really
All
good
right,
in the debate.
Can you see through my glasses?
Yeah, I
I'm
could see you're
I'm
looking.
watching you on the live stream.
Very cool. And Mike, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I had a live stream with my friend Sam. I don't know if you caught that one, right? You saw that one?
Yeah, Flat Earth Reconnaissance.
Nice. And then earlier today, I did.
I don't know, on Facebook, I think.
Mike, did you watch the live stream earlier today when I was showing The Boys? Man, it got taken down, and that one was awesome.
Bro, I'm recording something to a fucking song on YouTube, like recording my own video. Oh, you're infringing on copyrights and Guam and shit like. I'm like, really? No one gives a shit.
But damn, Mike, it was a good live stream, man. I was showing some of my favorite clips from the show The Boys. And did you see Mikey Smith with his pictures of the stars and stuff like
Like
that.
Smith, yeah. He's
Man,
cool.
that's
Is
that's
that
cool.
Canada?
Yeah, he's in somewhere in Canada. I don't remember exactly where.
Hopefully, he wants to be the 51st state, baby.
Yeah, Canada, why not? Have a united North America somehow. But what was it?
Well, if it goes down that rabbit hole, then you're talking about the New World Order,
Yeah, exactly.
called the North America. Shit, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
NAFTA.
Oh, you have facts? You can't pull up a page right now.
You can't use YouTube
Stupid
if you don't have the vax.
I hope that guy doesn't have an aneurysm or something, man. He's gonna
Which
spat.
guy? Which guy?
Craig. What is it? Falls in love with that Earth.
Yeah. Did you see that video where he was crying? Like he was going to break down, man. I felt bad for him, man. He's going through a lot.
Even on their New Jersey debates, he seemed like he was just lost the whole time.
I felt bad for him.
Pimp on a Blimp, Andrew Wilson. Who was the other guy that's like the former Muslim agnostic?
I don't know.
Something. I watch all those channels.
Okay, but really quick. Yeah, that one got taken down, man. I interviewed Mikey Smith. Man, I was showing The Boys, and shit, it got taken. But anyways, don't dwell on the past. But I also did an interview with a guy named Isa Kabir. Did you see that one?
I might not have.
I did that one like an hour ago, or like an hour and a half ago. And Mike, it's cool. He's on a show where the people trash talk me, but he's cool, right? He's a glober that's cool. And you know what?
I got it.
Mike, he bought my book. He bought my books. He showed me he got my books.
It's not flat. It's not round either.
It's fuck.
Floating on the back of a turtle.
Oh, you like turtle? Okay, hey, that's cool. You know, I don't hate on Turtle Earth.
I'm just getting the word out. You know,
but some flat earthers might think it's like insulting because that's like flat Earth society type shit. But it's actually like mystical. Yeah, so I don't hate on Turtle Earth, but did you see that movie where the Turtle Earth had like baby eggs?
Tim Curry and Sean Astin. You called it Pennywise versus Lord of the Rings.
No, Pennywise versus Samwise.
Yeah, Pennywise versus Samwise. That shit was dude.
Yeah, I don't hate on Turtle Earth. I mean, even in the Bible, Jesus said the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth for 3 days. So it's like whatever that means.
Oh man, here's a crazy one. Say the Earth does get destroyed. And didn't they supposedly send a Bible out into space or in our upper atmosphere floating around?
That would be a good idea to have a couple Bibles floating around just in case. Like, who knows what could happen to the Earth? You know, like what kind of devastation is happening?
The massive volcano eruption, a super earthquake, you know,
or lasers from space, or not space. What are they? What is it? They bounce it off. It's not satellites in space. It's like they bounce lasers off of the firmament,
just straight off the ice walls.
Yeah.
Did you see the one video where it said like absolute zero of water or whatever? Like when it gets there, it just straight turns to ice.
Yeah, they were saying that's what that sky ice is. Like it's a certain type of water. I was thinking it could be a low density water. You know how there's different types of air?
That shit's probably super mana. They melt that shit down and then they drink it. They're like, oh man, I'm running super fast right now.
Maybe, I don't know. But where were we talking about? We're talking about different aspects of flat Earth, and I was disappointed the one live stream got taken down because that was a cool talk with Mikey Smith.
I liked it. It was like
so that one got taken down, but the one after was cool. So maybe that one will be available. And man, it was cool. The dude bought my books. He showed me. I was like, damn, that's fucking cool, man. But yeah, and Mike, I'm gonna keep interviewing different people. Globers, flat earthers, any type of people, but they got to be cool. They can't be jerks. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with being a jerk?
Because I don't like people that are jerks and like really rude. Like when I was interviewing the guy Isa Kabir, he's a glober, but we weren't debating. We weren't arguing about flat Earth. You know what I mean? We were talking about other stuff.
He's like, how about we meet halfway? And then he shakes your hand and walks away.
Why not? I mean, people are different. They don't have to hate each other because they disagree.
That's cool, dude.
Fuck yeah.
I just don't know. Should I type in my email or my YouTube, or does it say my YouTube?
It just says Mike.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Mike and Matt.
Yep. So what are the things you want to talk about, Mike? Because I kind of want to get back to that debate because I'm doing a live stream, a debate review.
Oh,
Unless you want to take a look at it, do you want to see the debate with me?
yeah.
All right, let's go back and let's see what they're talking about, and you give your input, okay, Mike?
All right.
Equilibrium.
Let me
Well, if
change
that
the
were,
screen.
if what you're saying is true with regaining to regards to altitude within the gas system that we live in, then you would think that that's the same thing that's regarding the pressure from the depths of the ocean up toward the surface.
Yeah. Why wouldn't the high pressure at the bottom of the ocean try to go to the top pressure with the low pressure?
Well, it doesn't want to. It's
Because the water pressure, okay, Mike, you know how it is like underwater? Like there's more pressure as you go deeper because there's more water above you, right? You get it?
Yeah, like if you're down by the Titanic or the whatever boat's down there, and
The Olympia?
yeah, you'll be like those CEO billionaires that all got crushed to death in their submarine a couple ago. Remember that shit?
Rest in peace, those people.
So,
But yeah, you're right. So that's what this guy isn't understanding.
So
He
it's
just
like-
asked the guy, like, why
It-
would the pressure be
higher
like that at the bottom?
like the opposite, like of like heavy density or whatever, getting crushed by the water pressure.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Like-
it is. It's like it's just
but
so
the-
much water. It's crushing the person.
Like,
And that
but-
this guy is trying to ask, why is it that the
So, like-
pressure isn't evenly distributed?
put the horizon line as the middle point, and then have like a meter. Is that what he's saying? A ruler going up like 1 to 12, and then but in the water it would have been the complete opposite.
Kind of. Like where we are on the surface, like the ground level, there's air above us.
Yeah,
And the air above us has a weight, and the air above us levels out because there's different gases in the air. Like it's not just oxygen.
oh yeah,
You know, like helium and stuff. Like helium goes up because
Like,
it
there's
weighs
more
less than oxygen.
nitrogen, carbon in the air than there is oxygen. Like what is
Yeah, something like,
like
that.
20
Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a look at what they're saying now. See, this glober doesn't get it.
causes gases to expand and contract and have higher and lower pressure. Temperature does that. Moisture content does that. There's a whole bunch of host of things that goes on there. This is a really dynamic system that we live in. Okay, so it's not like a static system. Now down here on the Earth where we all live at, not only are we displacing a greater amount of the medium in which we live, listen, it couldn't have any pressure on us unless it was a contained fluid that we're in, because otherwise there'd be no resistance to it. But yet there is resistance to it because we feel 14.7 pounds per square inch at all vectors inward on our bodies at sea level. Okay. And we feel that, like here, I live in the mountain, and like when we go up over the pass, you feel that when you go up, your ears pop and shit, right? Because there's a change in the air pressure. Well, there's
Right.
a
This
host
dude's
of
smart.
reasons for that, but none of which could exist without a contained volume of gas, or gas is.
So entropy doesn't exist on
It does, because the continuous attempts at equalization between all these systems is what we call respiration. It's like
It's also called homeostasis. Like the Earth wants to seek equilibrium with hot and cold.
a troposphere. Okay, or
And Mike, you could jump in whenever you
Man,
want to say
listen
something.
to Mike Vargas saying spells and shit.
Let me see.
but within there, right here, we have the evaporation,
Wait, what did you say, Mike?
and
He has the freaking Glober spells on lockdown.
Yeah, he's saying, Mike, he's just
Man,
repeating
using
all these
magic
words.
spells on people and shit.
Yeah, yeah, Mike, exactly. He's trying to trick people into believing a lie, and it's not working.
of the gases right here down on the earth. We also have to add with that, there's a bunch of moisture here in the air, much, much more than there is at higher altitudes, because of course, as it goes up higher, it starts to cool and it wants to equalize and turn back into water again, liquid, and bam, down to earth it goes. And I mean, there's this whole cycle of shit that's going on here that none of that could be even possible. None of it without having some kind of physical containment.
So
It wouldn't be here.
So you claim.
Well, I mean, until
What would
somebody can
Mike
show
Vargas
up.
say, though? Is it the atmosphere is the containment, or is I'm back. Would Mike Vargas what was he saying? Is he like denying firmament? Is that
Yeah,
the conversation?
he's trying to say that like the gravity brings down the air to the earth, and that there is no firmament. And this guy
Dude.
Sav is telling him it's impossible to have that sort of situation take place.
I think we're constantly releasing oxygen. I don't think it comes back down at all. I think like all of our stuff is like from the plants and trees around us.
Exactly, that's the truth.
Because we can't live off what's higher up. But I just think air just rises up. It never comes back. And when it does,
there's a cycle
maybe that's
going on.
More, like the moisture goes up. You know what? Hydrogen keeps floating. But isn't there a level like when airplanes fly, they could fly above storms?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, sure. But yeah, there is a cycle with the oxygen and how the plants take in, carbon dioxide, and then we breathe in their oxygen. There's some type of interplay that goes back to the beginning of when God created this place. That's what I think.
The trees that are just waters, like a faucet coming out of a tree in the desert somewhere,
Yeah, but imagine huge trees.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go back to the debate. I'm gonna. How much time I got left? Let me see. I got half an hour. Let's see what these guys.
Hypothesis is
what do you think that's from? First, you'd have to come up with some kind of an idea as to what you think.
Right, hypothesis. The hypothesis is that gas pressure will reduce at a uniform rate the higher you go due to gravity.
Okay.
Okay.
How would you prove that it was due to gravity, though? How would you use gravity as the independent variable in order to determine that it is the cause
by
of the observed effect?
Confounding variables.
By what?
Excluding confounding variables.
Such as?
Temperature, wind current.
Do you see Mike, do you see what this guy said? How his reasoning of how to determine what the cause was is by excluding confounding variables. The truth of it is, though,
he's doing
when they're
his
talking
little spells, they all do the spells when they start talking.
Yeah, it's like this guy's not able to admit that without containment, this air system would just be sucked out into the theoretical outer space.
Okay.
This guy Sav is teaching him about air, and they kind of raise certain points, but this guy's thinking of the air as one type of gas when there's many different types of gas. Like Mike, you know about helium. Helium goes up. Yeah,
and it
oxygen
is up too.
Yes, oxygen is down here where we are, right? So this guy is trying to put all the different types of gases together and say, look, it's all down here, when really it's not like that. This guy's just being deceptive. What do you think?
Kind of reminds me of our old buddy Zach when I look at the guy, Mike Vargas.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of similar. Okay, let's go back.
Cut from the same
map it every single.
What do you say?
Cut from the same fabric or cloth.
And we can measure
That's
that
funny.
pressure gradient exactly, so we know exactly at what level we're going to have this pressure system. That's this dynamic pressure. Okay. And we know it so much that aircraft use atmospheric pressure for their altimeters. Do you think we want that accuracy for planes moving towards each other at different altitudes? Yes. That's why the altimeter in an aircraft requires the atmospheric pressure, because we know what that exact gradient is going to be given the circumstances of that flight.
He's back to his old spells again.
How does that mean
Yeah.
that gravity is the cause of that?
And it's
There's-
not what it's barometric pressure, not gravity. And it's like they assume what altitude they are at. It is not exactly perfect. That's how they determine their altitude.
And change it in any way? How did you use gravity as the independent variable in your experiment in order to determine that it was the cause of the observed effect?
Because
Right?
we know the mass of the air and we know
Right.
the density of the air.
Okay, so at what rate does air fall?
What is that?
9.8
Oh, you're
meters per
watching
second
us on
squared.
TV.
Air falls at 9.8 meters per second squared.
Yeah,
Can you
everything does.
prove that?
Everything does.
No, it doesn't.
What?
No. Only in a vacuum.
Correct.
Yeah.
Why? What do you
Well,
take
where,
out?
well, hold on.
What do
Wait,
you
wait,
remove
wait,
in a vacuum?
wait. Where in nature does a vacuum exist?
Wait, why does it have to exist in
Wait,
nature?
why would you have to have a vacuum?
Because you're removing confounding variables,
Such as?
other air.
That
other
reminds me
factors.
of Spaceballs when
Okay,
they have
so-
an actual vacuum on top of the Earth and they're sucking all the oxygen out.
You know, Mike, I was thinking about showing that as like an example of the firmament, but man, I don't want to get another copyright strike. They took down the video, but yeah, I think that too. Like when the Space Ball 1 turns into the maid and uses a vacuum.
Comb this area.
Was the
Yeah,
Yeah.
we ain't found shit.
I
They're
say
fun.
it's all medium dependent because there's never an instance where something is not subject to a medium.
Okay, what medium?
Okay. In a vacuum, you've not removed the medium, you've only reduced it.
Okay.
You can't achieve a true vacuum.
Okay.
So it always comes down
Let
to
him
a
finish,
ratio.
Mike.
It always comes down to a ratio of the object, its density per volume, compared to the medium in which it resides per volume. You understand?
You're saying
I like
density and
Grandpa.
medium. Don't say density per volume.
Yeah, Sav is cool. He's really smart.
Absolutely.
Chicago Cubby
Density
Bears
is volume.
chill.
No,
Density is
Yeah, he's doing a good job moderating the debate. He's being fair to both guys.
of the medium as you do of whatever's displacing it. And the density comparison between the two, okay,
right.
is what determines whether something's going to go down or up. It's going, that's how shit works, man.
Looking at
No.
my stupid
Yeah.
face.
You're describing
Well, let me
buoyancy.
see.
Well, no,
Are you
yeah,
making funny
I'm
faces
actually
in the screen,
describing
Mike?
relative density.
What's their chat saying? I can read it. It says, I got a picture, all stuff is always where we live in, atmosphere, gravity, science, magical mystery, God. What's Mike's faith? He looked angry. Eldon, I don't know what that is. Mike's faith is gravity.
Yeah, exactly.
What else to say? I'm quite sure he knows it's not a globe. They'll use the same arguments but never address the simple observable stuff.
Exactly.
This Mike don't know when to quit. I've been imagining me talking about Mike like I can't even read it. 100% agree with Dave. Who's Dave? Is that Saw?
That's Sav. That's his real name, Dave.
Shilling Shilling the way. Wait, what? I can't wait. Oh, it's the guy Shilling. I like the way you think and always have.
All right, let's go back to the debate. Let's hear what they're saying.
Back
I'm
to
going to use this big
Soul.
lighter.
Yeah.
All right, so this big lighter is taking up a place that the air wants to be. So theoretically, there's like a hole in the air shaped like this lighter that this lighter is in, right?
Okay.
Okay. But that air wants to be where that lighter's at.
Okay.
Okay. So what you have to look at is the displacement ratio.
Okay.
Okay. So the air that this thing is displacing, is the weight of it less or more than the object? It's way less.
It's less.
Right. So the object's going to go down
Why down?
because that's where relative density to the object actually is at.
Okay.
It puts it at a greater state of equilibrium.
Yeah.
It's still in a state of disequilibrium because
Okay.
it still wants to equalize with everything.
Okay. So let's go back
I mean,
to my
if this
experiment.
thing's sitting like that, it's eventually kind of like wanting to flatten out, but it's not.
Okay. It wants to. Feelings.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
everything
so
wants to kind of.
Let's go back to my analogy. I have 2 blocks.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. One is 1 inch square and weighs 1 pound.
mm-hmm,
One is 2 inch by 2 inch by 2 inch. Okay. 8 cubic inches,
mm-hmm.
and it weighs 8 pounds. Which one is more dense?
They have the same density per volume.
Okay. Put them on a balanced scale.
Okay.
Which way will it tip?
Well, I'll go toward the one that
Yeah,
has.
do you see what that guy did? He totally disregarded what Soph said and just randomly brought up some other example.
2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
both objects are subject to the same medium.
Both objects.
They're only
have
reacting with
density.
one another within the same medium.
Wait,
the weight of an
objects
object.
the same density.
No.
They
Listen.
both the same relative density.
Yeah, but they have one is a larger mass of it. It's even greater density per volume than the other.
Mass.
No, it's not. Well, yeah, kind of, but
Just
what,
they-
What scientific property is causing mass to go towards a massive planet-sized piece of mass?
it's seeking equilibrium. It wants to be at its place of relative density to the medium.
Is it too hard
Put
for
the
them to
same. Hold on.
create the
Put-
Earth? The Earth is.
What's up, Mike?
It's too hard for any of them to say the Earth was made by God. Like it's like a perfect place. You know.
Yeah, they
It was
can't say it.
created.
Exactly. They can't say it.
I'm not hearing that out of any other mouths.
Well, Soph, I think he's a Christian and believes in God, but he doesn't really talk about the Bible too much, but I think he is knowledgeable. But this globe Earth guy, yeah, this guy's got some weird
I've
vibes
never
going on.
Before, is this guy getting views?
It says
Pal,
there's
hell yeah.
162 people watching right now.
Oh, it's live now.
And let me see how much I got. I got 3 people. And I like it. I don't mind having a smaller audience.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
here we,
If you change the medium, you can change the weight. I can change the rate of acceleration by changing the medium. Okay, so here's how it goes. If the object weighs more, right,
Mm-hmm.
per volume, then the medium in which it resides, it will go down. Okay, If-
Gravity.
well, if you can achieve, there's a neutral point.
okay, yeah.
Really?
Density is why the things go down. But did you see how the guy says, "Oh, that's gravity"? See that?
Yeah, they just.
He's doing his spells.
It's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
the thing
He
is
looks like a Merlin right now. He's like, alakazam. He shoots
That's funny.
anywhere because it's at
Tom
a
looks like
place
he's in a
that's
space station.
What?
He looks like he's in a space station. Grandpa Sov.
Yeah, he's 250 miles above everybody's imagination.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, he says that. And then he has a co-pilot named Sum-Ting Wong. It's funny. I like this show. Careful now. All right,
He
let's
didn't.
watch it.
I know. Yet he worked the formula out.
He
So
didn't.
where did they? Oh, wait a second. Wait a
Buoyancy
second.
formula didn't
It's what
exist.
they put in there for weight. It's what they put in there for weight.
No.
Yeah.
He used mass.
Yeah. No, it ain't nothing to do with mass. It has to do with weight. And weight is the relative density of an object within a given medium. Per
How do
volume.
you measure? Hey, how do you
It's
measure
per
weight?
volume, dude.
How do you measure weight?
See, this guy
You
keeps
measure it.
deflecting.
Well, wait, like I said,
everything Sav says, this guy's just deflecting, not answering, bringing up other examples, never directly addressing what he says.
that's how we
Yeah.
say things. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I thought everybody
So
knew.
how does a spring scale measure mass?
It doesn't measure mass, it measures weight. Weight is a quantification of the relative density of an
Unit of
object.
measurement is weight.
No, it's a quantification of the relative density per volume of an object within a given medium. Things, weight changes when you change the medium that they're in. We happen to be in the air. We live on land. We're in the air, right? Think about how different our physics would be if we lived at the bottom of the ocean. Think about that. I mean, everything would be totally different because we're in a different medium.
Yes.
It's all about the medium. It has nothing to do with any kind of magic
because
gravity.
the gravitational pull of an object versus the gravitational pull of its medium.
There's
Okay,
no.
did you see him do a spell, Mike?
Which one? Saw.
He was rubbing his the guy on the bottom was
Oh,
rubbing
yeah.
his hands saying
Well,
gravitational,
together.
gravitational.
It's in a state
Yeah.
of disequilibrium with great.
Okay.
Huh?
Where is this state of equilibrium located?
Well, it depends on what's in disequilibrium. Are you talking about a helium balloon or a bowling ball?
Bowling ball.
Okay, the bowling ball is obviously what is a medium around it that is denser.
Air.
Wait a second. What is denser per volume? Okay, so what's denser per volume of the bowling ball?
What do you got to say, Mike?
Oh no, I was mimicking the guy. See, he's going like.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, you could say
Sav is like.
okay, yeah. Whenever you want to talk, just talk, and I'll mute the video.
Oh, okay.
All right, stop. The bowling ball is in a medium.
Okay.
Okay. It is displacing a medium. Now, which is denser per volume? The bowling ball or the medium in which it's falling?
The bowling ball.
Okay, obviously. So that means that it's going to find a place of equilibrium by going down. Now,
In the direction of gravity.
it'll go down until it's obstructed, like by the ground. And that's more closely related to the relative density per volume of that object than the air. Now, the reason it dropped is because you picked it up and you gave it energy to return to a more normal state of equilibrium,
guy's
which is
nailing
to
it.
go down to the ground.
Why down again?
Place.
Because that's where the closest per volume of relative density of everything is down.
The closest level of equilibrium.
Yeah, I mean that's where we want to be. We want to be that's where denser than the medium. We don't always go down. It depends on the medium we're in. You don't go down when you go swimming. You float just fine in the water. You can swim, right?
Gravitational pull of you
Well,
versus
not the
gravitational pull of the water you're displacing.
No, because you weigh less.
You just keep saying gravity, gravity, gravity.
Yeah,
The
he's
ratio between the medium.
Say again, Mike.
going back to the same thing. He's not like saying anything different.
Yeah, you get it, right? You get it. He just keeps saying gravity, gravity, gravity. And then the guy, Grandpa Sav, that guy's like nailing it with like science and explaining how reality works.
Yeah, Sav's
And
winning.
Yeah, he's obviously winning. Yeah. And then this guy, Mark Vargas, their history is something like Mike Vargas was responding to Sav on Facebook, like comments like a troll. And so Sav, having a channel, said, hey, why don't you come on my channel and we could do a debate? And so this guy, he chose to go live, and it's unfortunate because we're seeing how bad this guy's doing, and he's starting to break down a little bit.
Yeah, I
And
think he won.
Yeah, he won. But the thing is, this guy Mike Vargas probably like feels tough on Facebook. You know, just putting
Oh, behind the keyboard.
keyboard warrior, something like that. Yeah. And then people like Sov, and myself and others, we go live. We're not afraid to go live. And so now
Yeah.
this guy's like obviously losing a live stream debate. And hopefully he changes, because this guy Sov is dropping a lot on it, a lot of knowledge. And hopefully this guy comes around. All right, here we go.
A whole lot of different. Let's go to 50. Let's go to 50,000 feet. Now what?
Okay. Drop them both 50,000 feet.
Yeah.
Which one hits the ground first?
Probably the little one.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because I'm a champion for the little guy. No, I'm just fucking with you. Need to have no, look. It depends on the medium. I don't know what kind of a chamber. Hold on, wait a second. None of that proves that there's any kind of a force pulling. All it proves.
Exactly.
No,
It does.
listen. No.
We calculated it to the third level, third decimal.
Oh my word in
Okay?
heaven.
We know 9.8.
No, things do fall at different rates depending on the medium that they're in.
Air.
Well, okay. And
9.8
air is
squared.
air is very, very thin. Wouldn't you agree? For volume of a lot of things that we consider tangible objects, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, but every
Okay,
object
so
falls the same
air
rate.
is just the medium. Okay, air is just the medium.
Has no bearing on
Yes, it does. It has everything to do with it. This is why
it's equal medium.
This is why your body reacts when you change elevation.
Don't change the subject. We're still
No,
talking
I'm not
about gravity.
changing the subject. I'm just telling you that this is why you feel that.
Okay.
Because that pressure is required in
Yeah.
order for you to be alive.
Okay. Cool
It's
story.
required.
Has nothing to do with the
Hold on, wait
topic.
a second. It's required in order to have
Change the
liquid
topic.
water. Did you
All
know?
right.
Time for Mike
We'll go
Vargas
like
to
5.
do the face palm.
What, Mike?
Time for Mike Vargas to do the face palm thing where they go,
Oh yeah, like they can't believe the truth they're hearing. I see that sometimes from the Globers.
The expectation of gravity, but you don't think so.
Well,
Correct?
I mean, anybody can observe things falling and they can, time how long it takes it to fall and all that good shit and everything. And they can say, see, gravity. No, it's just falling. You have
Yeah.
nothing that shows that gravity is the cause of it.
Okay. Do it in a vacuum chamber.
Well, what the fuck is that going to do? All you did.
Remove confounding variables. The very premise of
Oh, wait a second. All right, what'd you change?
And you know what? Density still exists inside a vacuum. That's what the Globers don't understand.
Remove it.
Okay, how much is left?
Huh? You can only take it down so far before it's going.
How
You're
much is
never going to
left?
have zero. You're never going to
How
have
much
zero.
is left? Okay.
Nevertheless, it's still in a medium. If it
What
wasn't,
medium?
just a thinner version of whatever you evacuated from the chamber.
Okay.
It's only low pressure. You can only achieve.
Okay. Don't change the subject. What happened?
No. Look at what the Glen Ellen vacuum chamber in Sandusky, Ohio can achieve.
Okay.
And they can't even get to what it is, what they say at the Kármán line.
Yeah,
I think that's what, 10 to the negative.
I saw your video. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, that's for real, though.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remove 99.999% of the medium.
You ain't going to get that much.
So you claim.
No, you're not.
Okay, so at 10 to the negative 6 torr, how much is removed?
Wait a second.
What?
You're
Doing
into
spells.
Say again, Mike.
Little Mikey Vargas is up to doing his little number spells again.
I think he could be using like a Chat GPT or something to try to get answers. Because a lot of what he's saying does sound like the answers I get when I kind of like debate Chat GPT.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, like it's just like the Globers I debated on that show, Modern Day Debate, they're all using the same words.
Yeah.
So this guy could just be working from a script or just using, like I said, ChatGPT.
Resistance.
Okay. So there's still air resistance.
Okay, but we removed
It's
99.999.
very, very little. But also the ratio of density per volume compared to what the object is in is still out of balance, right?
Yeah, that's why they fall.
Okay, so it wants to go toward its own relative density, which is down. All you did was change the medium.
Yeah, this guy's really not getting it. Let me see how much time I got. Okay, I got less than 10 minutes, Mike. So I'll tell you what, why don't we start to wrap it up here for today? I think we both had enough of this debate. And would you like to give your impression of what you've seen so far?
Grandpa Soy's pretty chill. Not getting the chill vibes from Mike Vargas that much. Chicago Kobe Bear is mellow.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
I like what Grandpa Sov has to say. I'm used to the old script with the Globe Earth side. Like they all kind of say the same shit all the time.
They do.
It's always the same.
Yeah.
I must have missed it when it came in at the beginning of what they were actually like talking about. Was it just that we have an atmosphere? Is Grandpa Sov like he doesn't believe there's an atmosphere?
Well, Sav, he's talking about the firmament and explaining about how we have any air pressure at all. And then this guy's trying to say gravity. Mike,
yeah,
gravity.
He throws in some numbers, starts rubbing his hands. Sov's pre-gaming it. He has to go to his grandkids' basketball game after this shit.
Why not? I don't know. That's cool. That's something that'd be nice to do.
But yeah, I dug it, man.
Well, all right.
I'll talk to you later then.
All right. Well, all right, Mike. I'll let you go, and I'm glad to have you here. Come back again. I'm going to have more guests on my show, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cool. You have a great day, big dog.
All right, you too, Mike. Take it easy.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. All right, take it easy, Mike. That was my brother, Mike, there. God bless him. But yeah, we got a couple minutes left here, so I'm just going to go ahead and close this off for right now and put this, just click out of it. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've been watching a live stream debate on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind channel, and it looks like the Globers really don't have much to say. Their jig is up, and every debate seems to be that they're losing, and they're losing badly. And personally, I do feel disappointed that on the show Modern Day Debate, they're not hosting any Flat Earth versus Globe Earth debates at the moment. And I respect Dr. James Kuhn's decision about his channel. But yeah, I mean, if they're not going to do it anymore, that is disappointing because I really enjoyed those, participating in those and, watching them. Yeah. And not just Flat Earthers, but Globers also. They're really interested in watching those debates. And so anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I may or may not come back on later today. I'm not sure if, how I'll be feeling then. It was a very successful day today. I got some more practice in with my live streams. It was a pleasure this morning. Oh, look at Mike, 1986. There he is. It was a great show. Thank you for coming on, Mike. You made it great, man. You made it great coming on here. And so, yeah, you saw my brother Mike Hakim. He was here. Earlier, we had Isa Kabir from the Matters Now channel. Guys, go check them out. Like and subscribe. And this morning, I had Mikey Smith from Mikey Smith Horizontally Opposed. Go check his channel out. Like and subscribe to him. And yeah, it was a successful day. I was a little upset that the interview with Mikey Smith got taken down because of the copyright issues of me playing clips of The Boys. But I love the show The Boys. I was trying to do like a critique or review of some of my favorite scenes. But anyways, that's it, guys. I'm almost out of time here. So thank you for watching and stay tuned. And I'm going to keep bringing you more shows, more interviews, and more diverse people, different people, flat earthers, globers, um, just talking about things and, getting it going. But anyways, that's it for right now. God bless you guys and thank you for watching. That's it. Take it easy.